All right. Getting into this again. Not that I've been absent for so long, I'm not really sure what, if anybody's watching. Let me adjust my camera a little bit down. I guess I just wanted to do it. I always want to get back into doing this. I thought it was kind of fun when I was doing it about a year ago. Whoa, a little too loud. But what kind of happened was this pandemic thing, and you end up on Zoom all day long, and do I really feel like being on Zoom while I'm working? So last time I was doing this, I was working on a film called Europa, and since now I'm working on a new film called My Phone Tried to Kill Me. This is a shot I'm still roughing out. I'm actually starting a new shot. Just want to hide these columns I don't need. Oh, come on. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Did I just dupe these? No. Alright. Hide, select the columns. Yep, go away. Alright. So what I'm going to start doing is roughing out this shot. And hopefully my son, who has a bit of a fever, doesn't come out and interrupts. Not that that's a big problem, but he should be sleeping because it's really late. If the audio is too high, please say something. Yay, so everything's still kind of working. My chat's still showing up on the side, which is nice. Tonight I'm doing Restream with YouTube and Twitch. Those seem to be the ones that I want to invest in. Almost more YouTube, I guess, because I gotta have somewhere to put my film once it's done. And you don't really release a film on Twitch. I guess I could do a viewing party of some sort. Alright, so let me get into this. So here, let me show this shot. What's going on. I can start talking about it. If my mouse will work. Alright. So, pretty quick shot. Monster attacks the girl. And she defends herself. Her pen is kind of like a light sword. The monster kind of came from her phone in an earlier shot, which is not animated yet. I posted a few clips of what the shots look like on YouTube already, so right now I kind of just want to get this one piece roughed out. So this is about 137 frames, which is, gosh, I don't know how long is that. Well, it's a couple seconds, probably 10 seconds. Alright, so I'm gonna pick a part that I kind of want to start with. I think the first thing is, are we getting her in this pose? It's probably the most important thing to start focusing on. So I'm gonna focus on this rough first. The little light I hit kind of puts us in a lightbox mode, so it's not as bright. Oh, you know what I need to do? So I don't have any models up. I have a model of the character. Let me pull up the file folders. So what I need to do is put the model I've been using for other ones, which is this one. And then I'm in shot 13, which is this one. So I'll paste the model into here. And then I should be able to hit reload, load default models. There she is. This is the main character. Here, maybe I can hide myself so you can see what the character actually looks like. Just test my sketching. Yep, seems like everything's fine. Alright. I don't really need the model. Well, actually right now, because I'm not really doing much in the way of animation, I'm just roughing poses. What I'm probably going to first think about is how to get the pose roughed. So for previous shots, I've mostly been focusing on the head and the torso, and then probably where her hands are. So there's a couple ways I can approach this. So here, let's play it back again. So I can either... The hand part's easy. I'm not really worried about the hand at the top. More like these attacks. Since she's not really moving too much dimensionally, I could probably fake it, but I think really I just need to worry about the torso and the hips, and I could probably animate that along with the head, and maybe keep them as separate pieces. So here, let's focus on this frame. Alright, so I'm kind of trying to do, it's a little different than the other film I was working on, is kind of thinking of ways to kind of cheat this a little bit. Because my initial goal was to try to see if I could get this done in a year. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but I can at least try. Alright, so first what we're going to do is build a rib cage. And then this is about where the center line is. And then... Alright, it's terrible. Let's get the shape of ribcage. Yeah, there we go. So the idea is that I can probably keep using this ribcage throughout. So I don't need to come up with a new ribcage. No, I don't know how I got a frame 2, but that's okay. And then what we'll do is we'll just exposure, remove key exposure. Okay. So what this is probably going to end up being is torso. And then I'm going to make a new one. And here, I'll bring it down here. And this is going to be hips. We can kind of see, I don't know. Let's clean this up a little bit. All right. And the hips, I think the shape that I kind of did here is about the shape that I've been using for her. I like doing the center lines, have an idea of where the center of her body will be. I'm really not liking this. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. And what I'm kind of just trying to do is give it more dimension so I can kind of work it out. Since this is the rough, I want to be able to understand the dimension of her body. Oops, put that there. Okay. So I got the hips, got this. Then I'm going to do another one, and then this one will be the head. I don't really know why I'm adding this extra frame here, but you know, whatever. All right. It's weird. All right. So when I did the boards, she's not terribly off model, so I can kind of use it as a guide. So I'm going to do the brain casing here. Not going to worry too much about the chin at this point. I mean, if I really want to, maybe to just rough it out, I can have it. Which I guess is nice to have. And then I'll divide it up later once the animation's done. Because what I'll probably do is do a whole bunch of pins and then limit the pins to the area that I need to. Okay, I have touch enabled. Debate about keeping touch enabled. We'll see how active it's being tonight. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt. Alright, that seems about good. Just take a moment to see my Twitch channel and to have my schedule. Yeah, like I've stuck to my schedule. It's kind of funny. All right. So I basically got the bones of what I want to do here. So now I can start dealing with how I want to animate it. So to do animation, it's kind of, if you're doing puppeting, it's a little bit better to do it in this view. So now the hips, the main movement will be in the hips, and then the head follows the hips. So I'm going to make each of these a peg. And the peg kind of just gives you a place to do the animation. Oops. Yeah, that's the one I want. Go to the frame. There it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these out. Till the end of the sequence. I'm going to kind of try to match my rough posing in the boards, but what I first need to do is set the peg. means I have to set where the rotation is. I think what I'm going to do also is reduce the transparency of the background. Let's go off camera. Oops. Same with the background too. We'll make it like 60, which means it's reduced a lot. So now it's over this really horrid gray. So what you can do is you can add a color card. That puts it back over white. So usually like to work on odd frames too, so I'm on an even frame. I'm gonna move these all one frame later, so I'm on an odd. Because we start with number 1 and then you progress from there, so it's a little better to start with the odd frame. Alright, so the rotation is all in the wrong place. So what I need to do, so you need to adjust the rotation from the rotation tool. That's how you adjust the pivot. Could pivot it from the middle of her body, but a lot of her bending is going to be in the belly, because when we curve or bend our belly, that's what helps manipulate our chest movement, is how it moves in relation to our hips. So I would want to put it in the belly button area, which is where all that abdomen is and that stuff. For the hips, I'll probably just put it right in the middle of the hips, go near the center line. We'll do the same for the torso, put near center line. And then the head, I'm going to do at the base of where the neck would be. And the neck usually I add it as like a last thing. Okay. So I switch to the animation tool. Now one thing you can do too, because when I animate these, I'm going to have a thing where it may switch to the actual graphic layer. So what you can do is you can go into each of these. Pretty sure there's a script for this, I just can't remember where it is. And you can go to animation and click shoot, where is it? There's like an option where animate using animation tools, so you can turn that off. So on each of these layers, you can turn this off. I think there is even a global preset for it. Let me just save what I'm doing. Go to preferences, drawing. Trying to see if there's something related to animate using tools. Nah, I'm kind of not seeing this. You know, in my head, I would think that I would want to do streaming. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm sure there's some setting. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to set a key on each of these. And for now, wait, did I do this one? Yep. So now when I try to click on the layer, I don't get any options to actually animate these layers. So I'm kind of just forced. I wonder if I could do it as a bulk. Let's try to... Nah, it won't let me. Alright, so... set all these to be stop motion keyframes for now. So she kind of leans into it. So I did kind of a shitty lean here. Yeah, I want to do this on an odd. this seems to have more effect. The camera moves aren't really there yet. Am I affecting it? Let me see. Hide the animatic. Subtly. So what might help is I'm going to put these all in a group. I'm going to call this group. I think this may be able to let me do. Yeah, you can't do that with a group. I can create an overall pin that maybe has more depth in it. Let me see what level this is at, the animatic's at. And what's the Z of these? It's the same. It's maybe better if I put it in the camera peg. See, now it doesn't move. So the reason why the move is subtle is I think it needs to be more extreme. So I'm going to create an overall peg. And then this overall peg will house the body in it. We're going to also adjust the rotation, on the peg. I'll just do this in the middle of the body because since this is the master, it doesn't matter as much and we're not at the bottom. Whereas if I was at the bottom, I'd probably want to have it a bit higher. All right. Keyframe that. Bring back the animatic so I can see it. All right, so I want the move to be a bit more extreme. So what I want the Z to be deeper. So let me make this like 5. Alright, so it's almost there. We go 10. Now I can't even see it. So now I have to reduce the scale. So for this outer one, I think I can do a locked scale. So we'll go 5. Probably have to adjust position too. Let me zoom out and see where I am. Now, if I have 10, 0.1. Is that too much? Probably. Move this back over. Probably 0.13. Not quite. 5. So right now I'm trying to do is figure out the depth. Maybe it is 2. No, it isn't. 19. 8. 7 maybe. Yeah, that feels right. Right now, what happens when we see the camera move? was seeing the camera move. I don't know where it went now. Yeah, see, it feels like it's actually anchored in space properly, which is this kind of quick move I wanted to add. All right. So she kind of leans into this a little bit. So I have to kind of think of like, how do I want these to relate to one another? I can switch to the node view. Let's clean this up a little bit. So we don't see anything. They're all in here. All right, let's clean this up too. Huh, that's interesting. I like the align horizontally. That's a new. What's this one do? Hide selected thumbnails. Oh, aren't those nice? And this one is show all notes. Okay. Oh, I like the align horizontally. What does that do for the main? Oh, that's nice. Cameras over there. Rough. Alright, so let's pull this up. So this really shouldn't be called torso. This should be called like girl. I don't have a name for her. She's just girl. Oh, I totally forgot what I was doing. So, what I want to do is think about how this goes in. So I want the hips to be the bottom, and then the torso goes into the hips. So maybe we can just organize these. Head, torso. So we're going to keep these all connected, these drawings connected the same, but I'm going to adjust how the pins are connected. So the head is going to go into the torso, and then the torso is going to go into the hips. Organize it. That does not look cool. Maybe we do the down organization. Yuck, that's not super great either. Anyway. Head. I may have screwed this up, but let's just see. So this lets me rotate the whole body. Head. Yep, it's all backwards. So the head, torso, hips. So disconnect these. So connecting to the head. There we go. So now we'll see how that works. Going back to the camera. So if we click on the head, that rotates fine. You know, in a lot of ways, maybe I should have the head move based on the neck movement. So I'm going to move it down there, where approximately the neck would connect. So, head, and torso, and then hips. Perfect. Still think this animatic's a little too dark. So what we'll do is lower that down even more. Down to 30. Okay. Whew. So we're gonna have her lean in a little bit, and then maybe shift forward a little bit. Since she's probably bending her knees, maybe go down a little bit. Then her torso, maybe we'll let it lean a bit more. And then her head, I'm gonna lock this. Stop selecting it. Yeah, and the color card, I don't really want to select either of those. So here, if I try to rotate this layer, it should... Yeah, even if I select it wrong, it's still gonna animate the peg, which is what I want. So, and I have a macro here. So I should be able to go by keyframe. It's also here, maybe she stands a little taller. Just so it's a better contrast. And then I have another pose right here where she's reacting. Once again, it's not on an odd, so shoot me. Right. So probably change the center line on these. Yeah, man, her head really shrunk in this one. So these mean that it's trying to animate it. I kind of want to try to get rid of parameters. Yeah, I don't need that. I knew I had the keys. So I'm using this device to kind of help, called a Tor box. Maybe I could try popping it open. I just saw a limitation that I'm not super thrilled with. Alright, let me see. I can bring this down to show. So I'm pretty sure I don't have a keyframe toggle. I have a keyframe drawing, but I don't have a keyframe animation. Oops. This is the problem of having touch on. Get rid of touch. Right. should totally do these. Alright, so what are these? So it's a... Oh, I'm totally fixing this. Alright. Yeah, I don't like how this empty drawing, duplicate drawing, So... This one is... Take these off. Frame forward. All right, see if that works. Yay! All right. So much easier. All right. So right here is where probably I need to do new drawings. So what I'm going to do that is over here. I think I'm going to do the torso first. So I want to rotate. It's now more in the drawing view now. I want to rotate this. So I want to keep the same edge of the drawing. So go back here. You see that's more centered. So maybe more like this. A little skewed. Right. Should help. The position's not great, but I don't want to change the position of this. Instead, what I want to do is move this over so it's in the right place.
Did we take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now?
Yeah.
Was it never enough to have just everything you want?
What the hell's up here?
In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. Bring me home. And I want something I can hold. That's where this way goes. And
Oh right, because it's controlling the head too. Take that more. That makes sense. Alright, now I gotta fix the head.
Did we take it too far to say that we could
Let's do the hips first.
go? Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow, I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you
So same thing here. I'm gonna try to see if I can just center. Which, I mean, it's kind of the same drawing, it's just distorted. And the center line is obviously not this. Go back to the camera. Yep, that lines up. And now last thing is the head. Whew. Head feels big. Wonder if the head should just be smaller overall. Maybe like here. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that feels a bit better. I think our head was too big anyway. Alright. And then once again, drawing the head. We're centered, but looking up.
Promise me you'll get me through.
So
Just tell me I can do this too. For everything we fight to never lose. Cause everything we want, oh, is everything we need. Just like I need you. Oh, it's just like you need me. Oh,
alright, so I need reference because I forgot what she looks like from the front.
don't you bet on me now. I got the world on my back and my head on the crown. Strength unknown, don't give up on me now. You got a 500,000 eyes staring you to the ground.
Let's probably angle that more. Hey, hey, how's it going? Long time. Trying to do some new work. Kind of took a sabbatical from what I was working on before. I'm just roughing out a new shot. This is what it's kind of looking like so far. This is the board. I know it's been a while. I haven't really been on in probably a year. I think it's the Zoom fatigue of being on camera all day. It's like you don't want to get on a Twitch stream at night, I guess. Or at least that's what I was thinking. Or maybe I was just tired or lazy, or both. But then I felt like trying to do it again. It really wears on you. I wish it wasn't something that we had to do every day, or even at all. Though I do feel, because like, I have some kids, and they my youngest kid, I mean, he doesn't have to deal with it because he's like 3, so he doesn't do anything. But the older one had to do Zoom class with school all day, and it was just horrible. Just like needing to do class and, you know, trying to pay attention all day, and it was just horrible. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is just rough this out, but I'm trying to cheat a little bit using the puppet pins and just kind of dealing with the central body and not kind of going into the complexities of hand drawing everything. I like hand drawing, but it does get tired. It does get very slow. So let me shift these back. And then I'm gonna, so she kind of gets knocked back. I guess she gets knocked back sooner. Oh yeah, it was a bit sooner than what I'm doing. So, up even. See, when I'm doing my storyboards, I'm not really thinking about the evens or the odds. And instead, I want to get back into the odds. Alright. Get this back in position. So she's kind of recovering from being knocked back. Gonna have to draw another head. This head doesn't match or work. And it got smaller. I lost mass while I was doing the storyboard. That happens. Alright, redoing the head here. So her head is kind of looking down. Maybe I just kind of sketch it in here. Then I'll scale it up later. So right here, I kind of want her looking down a little bit more. Yeah. No, I was not able to finish it. I kind of hit a wall. It was 5.5 minutes long, and I just didn't want to keep working on it, and I wasn't feeling rewarded, so instead I switched, and I'm doing this 1-minute film now and spending about a year, hopefully a year or less, a year or a little bit more to try to get this 1-minute film done. That's very simple story. Just this character has her cell phone, she gets frustrated with it, and then it kind of buzzes and beeps, she throws it to the ground, and then a monster kind of jumps out of it and then attacks her, and then her pen turns into like a lightsaber and she kind of whacks the monster down back into a phone again. She picks it up and her phone works again. She continues on her way. So the idea was to make something super simple. And it's also in part because I teach animation at a college, and one of the challenges I always have with my students is them coming up with longer films than what they should, especially for the amount of time they have. And I picked a minute mostly because it's something that would actually work on Instagram and would work within the time frame for like an Instagram story. No, for an Instagram post without credits. So that's kind of where I landed at a minute. But I think they just kind of allowed more time, so that's kind of good. But I'm still very happy to keep it at a minute. Let me get back to... this. So now I just got to fix this head, get it in the right position as with the other heads. don't know if it's really looking down.
I can picture what you're thinking of. My
If it was looking down, this whole part would probably be smaller. And the top of the head would be bigger. Yeah, I mean, I was spending years on that. What have you been doing? Like taking a look at your feed again. I know I see you're on like a lot. I really just don't know how you are able to go on all the time. I
How
get
you
that.
are able to
Go
Ooh.
on all the time. I just see that you just make so much stuff. Yeah. Tests are good. Are you putting the tests together into a film, or is it just, or are they tests? Not just tests, you know what I mean, they're tests. Yeah, 2 days is a good idea. Let me go back. Cool, I'll check it out. Oh, what's the series? Oh, you're doing tests for the series. Oh, that's cool. What's the series? What are you trying to get the series on? Oh, for promotion for the studio. That's cool. That's a good way to do it. Oh, Netflix, yeah. That's the dream, right? I know Nickelodeon used to have their open call. I haven't seen it in a while, though. I know they're kind of a little bit more deep into franchise land right now than actually making new stuff. But there's new stuff coming out. What is that new show that just came out? Middlemost Post? I don't watch that much TV, so... Well, that's actually a lie. I watch a lot of what my kids watch. So right now my son is really into, what is that show? Troll Hunters, the Guillermo del Toro show. So I've caught that here or there. Some parts of it are kind of interesting, other parts I could do without, but definitely an interesting kid show. Yeah, I think he's watched every single one of them. I'm not quite sure if it's great for a 6-year-old to be watching, but he absolutely loves it. I'd like him to just vary his repertoire a little bit, but Netflix really likes to feed you what they feed you. But it looks like a good one, at least. At least the quality looks good, and it's an interesting concept. So I'll give him that. Alright. So... And she's... kind of being pulled off frame completely. Oh, come on. You're still working in Harmony, right? That's cool. Yeah, it's weird, like, how many different... when I'm teaching, how many different pieces of software the students come up with. Like, I think initially when I started teaching the class 5 years ago, they were doing things like just C4D and After Effects, and now it's a mix of Toon Boom, what's that other one called? What's the one that the Irish studio uses? forgot what it's called, but it's a bitmap one. And then they also use Clip Studio a lot. Yeah, TV Paint. Yeah, that's popular. But I mean, I don't see any shows actually use it. Do you know shows that actually use it? Because I know it's that one Irish vendor that that uses it as their like feature software, but I don't really see any like television places using it. Like it still doesn't feel like it has had wide adoption. That's why I often tell them I think that if you're gonna learn one, probably a Harmony is a safer bet. Maybe that's not the best advice, but every show that I see on like Nick is basically either this or Flash. And Flash is like, it's gotten a lot better. Like, I don't know if you ever played with that a bit, but yeah, I think it's just because, you know, as a feature level, you can like kind of control the amount of work. I guess it's kind of like it's there's just less notes in a feature, or there's just more money. So it's just the money is a little bit more bananas. So and the deadline's a little looser, I guess. I don't know. I've never worked on a feature, so I can't really say. But I've actually never actually worked on a TV show either, so I can't say much about that either. But I guess, you know, everyone has their opinion. Alright, trying to get back to this. And what did I even do? No. This goes back to that one. And then this one goes to the new one. Yeah. So let's see.
I should have been a skater, maybe a heartbreaker, some kind of creator, simple money maker. I'm just a
I guess at this point, what I'm probably gonna do is keep finishing up the body.
time passing me by. I'm cold, but it's July, and I know that my disguise will melt
Let's go this way too.
and I know that it's designed for the sun to make me shine, but it feel like this time that my heart's been mummified.
Yeah, it could be better closed out.
They tell me I'm too young to be thinking like this. Got my life ahead of me, but feel like it's in abyss.
All right.
Like my life left for a mistress. Call me back, I must have missed it. I should have been a skater.
I feel like I have her so far back, but I guess it's okay. The whole thing here is I want to make her a little bit more confident. So maybe have her straighten up a little bit more.
I think I can fix myself if I write rhymes, but I'm lying to myself, and I know that it's a sign that the more I try to sing and the more I ink it
Separate her
down,
head
I
too much
get
from
further in
torso.
my head, and the ink it makes me drown. All these
We
words
just raise her torso up. Probably extend the head a little bit.
I left it at my neighbors. This pain is in my nature. Got my 9 to 5.
Pull this back.
I don't feel like from the suburbs where I drive. Feel like 25 to life. I should have been a skater.
Let me take a moment. I can show you the other shots I did. This one's good.
Should have been a skater, maybe a heartbreaker, some kind of creator, simple money maker. I'm just a simple money maker.
This will not play back. Even though my computer's pretty fast, this won't play back with the video in the background. So suffice to say, it's a moving background. So get rid of that moving background. But this is kind of the same technique. I just kind of used Puppet Pin and a few other things and kind of cheated as much as I could. Only thing is it does have a little bit of a flash look to it, but I'm hoping that once I add in some boil and some other things, maybe it will help it out, you know, and the legs hopefully don't look too fake. And then, thanks. And then I have another one. Where is it? Two. Come on. Yep. This one is also faked where I can. I haven't quite decided though if I'm going to like trace over the whole thing or whether I'll like just do high down over the whole thing, or so it kind of feels like a wiggly line, or fake it as much as I can. I kind of want to fake it as much as I can just because I'll get it done sooner. I'm getting old. I don't have patience to do all this stuff. I'm not good enough animator to do shit tons of custom work. Alright. So what's the studio that you're doing? Is this your day studio, or is this your side project? Copy this one. Yeah, that's where I want to put it. And copy these. Oh, wait. Get these. There we go. And now this one's probably all messed up. Yep, this one's all messed up. There we go, it's fixed. Oh, that's cool. So they hire you and you come in. Oh, okay. Oh, so like whiteboard stuff. That's interesting. Where are you based out of? Oh, well, that's a really good place to be based out of for animation. I work with this guy sometimes who's out of there, James Neathery. And he had someone else that he'd bring on sometimes that was pretty good. I think this was, what was I planning on here? She pops back. Yep. Then she readjusts back. Oh, okay, I get what that is. Did I already do that? Should probably make this one maybe a little less. So it's a little less crazy, then it contrasts against the other one. Yeah, he was like ex Archer, I think. I don't know, it seems like a pretty hard show to work on. Okay, so I did have this already. So I'm gonna just steal. Once again, is this on odds? Yes, it's on odds. This one is on odds. Alright. This still needs work. That's getting there. Oh, okay. Floyd County Productions. Yeah, he seems pretty cool. Yeah, that actually haven't caught any of the new episodes of that show. It was pretty good. Anywho, I think I'm actually at my limit. I actually have to go into work tomorrow, which is not something I have to do super often these days. So I actually got to get up the crack ass at dawn so I can travel into Manhattan. So thanks for coming by. It was really nice of you. I really appreciate it. It was good to chat with you. I'll check you out on yours as soon as I can. And good luck. Have a good night.